She was a real lady. I'll miss you, Mother.
I'd like us now, in conclusion, to sing Nola's favorite hymn. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see.
I apologize. I don't normally stare at strangers.
No, I should be the one to apologize. I stared first.
Did you know my mother?
No, not really. I knew she was a remarkable lady. A friend of mine had told me a lot about her,
And you just decided to come to the funeral?
I know it must seem odd.
Not quite sure. Do I know this friend?
Edmund Gray.
Edmund. Then you're not from the West Coast.
No.
I'm still confused. Did Edmund tell you to come?
I work with Edmund.
Well, that still doesn't answer my question.
I know this must... I don't want to burst in today on you.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude, but I just buried my mother. And it hasn't exactly put me in the frame of mind to play guessing games. So for the last time, if Edmund didn't send you, then why are you here?
Because back in Pine Valley before all this, before you made your life here, I knew you.
Have a seat.
This is a beautiful room.
Thank you. It was my mother's favorite.
I can see why.
You're nervous.
A little. Why, does it show?
Well, you just had the same look outside. Almost as if you'd seen a ghost.
I have, in a way.
Oh, I thought I heard you come in.
I'm fine, Rosalie. Excuse me, allow me to... I'm sorry, I didn't even catch your name.
It's Brooke. Brooke English?
Brooke English. Yes.
Oh, I am Rosalia Sanchez. It is a pleasure to meet you, Miss English.
Rosalie, would you do me a favor? Would you bring us some...
Hot coffee and pastry.
Don't do that.
Of course.
I'm afraid one of her favorite domestic hobbies is reading my mind.
Did you recognize my name
It's familiar.
from before?
I'm not sure, but I don't think so. I might have heard it while I was in Pine Valley. I'm sorry if that disappoints you.
I don't know what I expect, really.
Welcome to my life. Excuse me.
Stuff comes back to him in fragments. Distorted images like dreams, only he's not asleep. Headaches. Bad headaches.
Are you okay?
Fine. Nothing that a couple of aspirin wouldn't fix.
Listen, I don't want to upset you any more than you already are.
You know, there was a time when I would have given anything to talk to someone like you. Someone with all the answers. Now I'm not so sure. Seems to me that my future is a big price to pay for my past. So you cared enough to come all this way, and my mother has always said that fear is never a very good reason to hide from the truth. So by all means, Miss English, why don't you tell me who I am?
I don't know quite how to start.
Start at the beginning. How was I raised? Was there family? How long did I spend in Pine Valley?
You lived there from the time that you were a little boy. You were abandoned.
In a park.
Yes, in a state park.
It's one of the only things that I do remember. Being abandoned by someone in a park with an injured leg. So apparently, my kidnappers, whoever they were, made it all the way across country before they gave up and dumped me.
You were found by a man named Jeff Martin, and later his family adopted you.
The Martins.
Your father's name is Joe, and your mother is Ruth.
Joseph Martin. Martin Joseph.
I'm surprised that you didn't meet them in the hospital. Your father is chief of staff, and your mother is the head nurse there.
No, I heard them being paged. I'm afraid I never made the connection.
Well, they were a wonderful family. They loved you very much.
You know, I used the name Martin when I showed up at this vineyard. Martin Joseph. My mother was convinced that the reason I did so was because I remembered on some level that my father's name was Joseph Orsini.
You and Joe, you made a wonderful team through the years.
Were there brothers? Sisters?
Yes, there were 4 children altogether. There was your older brother, Jeff. He's a doctor. There was an older sister, Tara. She lives in Japan with her husband. There was a younger brother, Joey. He's studying to be
A doctor. Am I an MD by any chance?
No. You had a terrific home. You had a grandmother, Kate. She was Joe's mother. And she was your biggest fan. She used to say that you had a smile that melted her heart. You could get away with murder with her.
Sorry, I don't have any faces to put with these names.
Kate passed away a few years ago, but she's still very much a part of the Martin family.
She knew. She said I would be okay just before I'm sorry. My mother, Nola. She must have met these people. So, please, go on. Tell me, what happened to me after I fell into this Norman Rockwell painting?
You grew up. I mean, you know, you had your share of troubles. They were never anything serious, but you kept the Martins on your toes.
You're a bit of a diplomat, Miss English.
Well, underneath all that wheeling and dealing, you were a charming, lovable kid. and everybody adored you.
I never changed.
What do you mean?
Nola always said I was like that from the time I was a very small child. Apparently I could talk myself out of all sorts of trouble. You know, for the longest time, I've been scared to death of the truth. You have no idea how good this feels. You see, my mother always knew that I was an Orsini, and I wanted to believe her. I did, but for the longest time, there have been so many questions.
I haven't meant your confusion.
Oh, no, you haven't. Far from it. You put things together for me. I should thank you. You see, I responded to Pine Valley the way I did because I was dumped there as a child, and I was lucky enough to run into the Martins, but I'm sure that deep down I knew that sometime I would have to come home, here to California. And now I'm positive. My mother was right. I am her son. I am Ted Orsini. You have no idea how ironic this is. Finding out about this on today of all days. You know, my mother would have loved this. She really would have. Is there something wrong?
I don't know what to say.
Congratulations, Mr. Orsini would do fine. Thank you very much. What is it? Is there something else?
There are a lot of years to fill in. Maybe you should sit down.
The most dreaded sentence in the English language. You know, Miss English, I can't force you to tell the truth, but under the circumstances, I would appreciate it.
I don't know how to put this.
Put it any way you want to.
You're not that little boy from California. I'm sorry. Nola Orsini isn't your mother.
How can you be so sure?
Ted Orsini was abducted about the same time that you were left in that park. But it wasn't a kidnapper who left you there. It was your biological father, Ray Gardner.
What are you saying? That my own father abandoned me?
I'm sorry. Ray was no good. He never loved you, and he never loved your mother.
My mother? Let's assume what you're saying is true. Where was she when this person was dumping me out like yesterday's trash?
Ray was very cruel. He was an abusive man, and your mother was totally under his control. She was afraid of him. A lot of people were.
Does she have a name?
Opal. Ray lied to her. He told her that you'd run away. But when she found out the truth, eventually, she went to Pine Valley to find you.
She didn't do a very good job. I'm sure I spent more time looking for my wallet.
Opal tried to be the best mother that she possibly could. I mean, she had a lot of hard knocks, but she fought back because of you.
Where is she now?
She's in Pine Valley. She's happily remarried. She has a new life.
You're a friend.
And she loves you. And it wasn't her fault that you were taken away from her. And she fought like hell to get you back.
So, how did I go from being the Prince of Pine Valley to Martin Joseph, immigrant farm worker, heir to the Orsini vineyard? Oh, come on, Miss English. I'm sure the last chapter's a real killer.
There was another man. A man who hated you. This was about 2 years ago. It was in the fall of 1990. His name was Billy Clyde Tuggle. You were with him on a bridge, the Lockport Bridge. You had a fight. There was an explosion, and both of you fell into the river. And we all thought that you had died.
My name is Tad. Tad Martin. You know Dixie?
Yes.
Is she still in Pine Valley?
Yes, she is.
Is she all right? I mean, we were in, does she...
Love you? Yes, Tad, Dixie still loves you.
Sometimes I can see her face.
Dixie's very beautiful. What else do you remember?
Not much. Singing a song that we both liked, fast food, chicken fingers. She doesn't own a Cluck Cluck Chicken Shack franchise by any chance, does she?
No, you used to bring her chicken fingers when the two of you were dating.
Chicken fingers? It's kind of odd, isn't it?
Why would it be odd? I mean, the man who shows up with ice cream always wins points with me.
It's absurd. I can remember her face, her voice, even her favorite food. I still don't know who she is, what she's really like. Considering everything I've been through, she's just a one-dimensional image with a craving for poultry.
No, Dixie is a lot more than that. She's a lot more. She's bright. She's funny. She's a wonderful woman.
Well, she's safe. I suppose I should feel relieved.
I'll tell you anything that I can about her.
So there's this beautiful, bright, wonderful girl waiting for me in Pine Valley. Huh? Somebody devoted to me. Somebody who truly loved me, that I truly loved.
Yes, you did.
Then if she meant so much to me, then why can't I remember her? Why does this girl feel like a total stranger?
Look, Edmund told me things come back to you in pieces. Maybe we should stop, for a little while.
No, far from it. I mean, I've got to know
I
sometime.
know what you don't have to know all at once. I mean, I know from Edmund that you get headaches and...
No, so far so good. I'm fine, really.
So far.
Well, if I reach for a handful of aspirin, we can stop, but under the circumstances, I'd appreciate it if you'd go on.
Where should I start?
Let me. It sounds like I had everything a man could want, that my life was full. Was it? I mean, before she died, my mother would tell... My mother. Can't really say that anymore, can I?
Listen, you were Ted Orsini to Nola. You were truly her son. And that doesn't disappear because your name changes.
She was the one thing I could count on. No, I can't.
Look, we don't have to talk about this now. We can talk about it tomorrow. You don't have to feel like you
Are you
have to know
kidding?
everything at once.
Nola hated procrastination. She used to think that patience was a bigger flaw than a virtue. As a matter of fact, when she found out that I had feelings for this mystery woman, she practically turned out the National Guard looking for her. And if she hadn't been in a hospital bed, I have a feeling that she would have been out there combing the streets as well. No, she was convinced that this girl, whoever she was pot of gold at the end of a rainbow.
She was right. You and Dixie, you were special.
How special?
As close as anybody gets to the real thing, you had it.
That I just can't happen to remember. If what you're saying is true, then shouldn't Dixie's name have been the first thing, the first word out of my mouth?
Not necessarily.
No, think about this. This is not like forgetting to do the dishes or mislaying your car keys. This woman was supposed to be the love of my life.
But you saw her face. Doesn't that mean something to you? I mean, you couldn't remember your name or your family or your home.
No, I remembered her when I was thinking about something else. Something else completely different. This Billy Clyde Tuggle person. Even now, he's more real to me than she is. I remembered her because he was threatening her.
But you saved Dixie from, you risked your life. I mean, that's why you were fighting with Billy Clyde. That's when you fell off the bridge.
He's dead, isn't he?
Yes, he's dead. He's dead and buried. They found the body.
At least I got that right. She's all right. She's safe. I can remember feeling like I'd rather die than let him hurt her. Apparently, I almost did. But like I said, I remember the feeling, not the woman.
Oh, don't dismiss the feeling. Because you're right on. And hopefully soon, everything else will come back to you.
You stay in touch with this girl?
Well, you know, Pine Valley it's a very small town.
You say she still loves me.
She never stopped loving you. And she needs you now. She needs you more than she...
We were married.
Yes.
All right. So if we were so much in love, if she still loves me, then why did we get divorced? I remembered arguing. I remembered her telling me that the marriage was over. And the memory was real. I know it was.
I wasn't there, but yes, you got a divorce.
Well, so far in the accuracy department, I'm batting 1,000.
Yeah, but don't you remember, you and Dixie were planning to be remarried. You worked everything out.
No, I don't remember. And that's the problem. So, tell me, what was there that had to be worked out?
Dixie's family wasn't in favor of your marriage. They interfered a lot. It was a major factor.
I had in-law problems? Oh, come on. There has to be more to it than that.
There is.
Well, go on.
Look, no matter how I put this, it's not going to sound right.
It wasn't an affair? She found someone else?
No.
Me? With another woman?
It's very complicated, all right? There
Oh,
were
my
extenuating
God,
circumstances.
I don't
It's not easy to explain.
What are you saying? I had to be there? I was there for all the good it does me. This is fun. Let's recap, shall we? Apart from growing up as a veritable juvenile delinquent, I managed to screw up a wonderful marriage to the perfect woman by cheating on her?
No, it wasn't like that, all right? You weren't... It was a mistake.
No kidding. You have a talent for understatement. I mean, if a person's going to destroy his life, he should go for the gusto. That's one hell of a mistake, don't you think?
The important thing is that Dixie forgave you.
Terrific. My wife was a saint, I was a pig.
No. You were happy together. You and Dixie were starting over.
Is there anything else I should know about? Auto theft, grand larceny, maybe a murder?
You were a pretty terrific guy.
Sure. As adulterers go, I was a veritable prince. Why are you here? Why didn't she come instead? You put the connection together. You came on your own?
I didn't want to get Dixie's hopes up for nothing. I wanted to make sure that you were alive.
That's not it. There's something else, something you're not telling me.
Tad, look, you have a whole life. There's a lot
Not about
to tell.
me, about her. Is she all right? Is something wrong?
Dixie's in trouble. She's in serious trouble. Dixie had a son by her first husband. You loved him.
Her first husband? Oh, the son.
Adam Chandler.
Chandler.
That name ought to ring a few bells for you. You hated each other. And justifiably so. Adam married Dixie. The only reason he did that was so he could get legal rights to their son.
And I didn't try to kill him, too.
Oh, you wanted to, believe me. But Dixie was in love with him at the time, or she thought she was anyway.
He has silver hair.
Yes. Do you remember him?
No. I remember fighting with him for her. You know, so far, Pine Valley sounds like a veritable barrel of monkeys. Just chock full of prize people.
Adam's latest offense is suing for custody for his son.
Wait a minute.
What?
Wait a minute.
What is it? What's the matter? What?
In the hospital, my mother had a friend, patient advocate, somebody named Miss Cooney, who was involved in a custody dispute all the time. That was
Dixie.
You knew that your Miss Cooney was my missing Dixie. Dixie Cooney. What do you think, Ma? My mother was always trying to set me up. It was her mission in life. She was always saying that she wanted to have grandchildren before she was too old or too tired to pick them up. Before her last heart attack, she kept going on and on about the girl. It seemed like everything she could do just to hang on until this patient advocate arrived. I thought she was delirious, that somehow she confused the girl I was looking for with someone else.
She knew that they were one and the same.
Thank God she died believing that she'd worked everything out. You know, she really fell in love with this Miss Cooney long before she ever knew that she was Dixie, that she was the girl.
Nola had great taste. Dixie is the genuine article.
If she passed muster with Nola Orsini, she'd have to be.
You and Dixie were met for each other. And Nola sensed that.
She was petrified that she'd die and I would be left alone. But when she did die, she was confident and peaceful because she knew that, well, she thought that I would have Dixie. And now, even knowing everything that I do, I've never felt so alone in my entire life. The little boy in the park, the one that recognized me, was Dixie's son.
He was so little when you disappeared, I'm surprised Junior recognized you.
Junior?
His name is Adam Jr., but for obvious reasons, they don't call him Adam.
Poor kid's gonna have a hell of a time in high school with a name like Junior.
Finding him in the park was the second time that you came to his rescue.
How's that?
If it hadn't been for you, Dixie would have never gotten custody of her son in the first place.
We'll call it a hunch, but I'm pretty sure I wasn't a lawyer or a judge. Just how did I accomplish that?
You were able to prove that Adam was not fit to raise any child, especially one of his own.
I see. So apparently I had a knack for proving the obvious.
You had a knack for a lot of things. Dixie counted on you for good reason. Adam had all the power and all the money on his side, and you beat him. And you were by her side during some of the worst moments in her life. You shouldn't feel alone because you're not.
Look around you.
Maybe here, but believe me when I tell you there's so much waiting for you in Pine Valley, you have no idea. Dixie is in trouble, and so is her son.
Look, I'm sure the kid is a sweetheart. I know he is. But let's be serious. It's not like we're talking about my own son here.
It honestly didn't matter to you that he was somebody else's child. You loved him like he was your own. I mean, you went through Dixie's whole pregnancy with her. You were at the hospital when that child was born. I mean, when she needed you, whenever he needed you, you were there. You were there. You and Dixie, you were raising him. You were raising him together.
Until we got a divorce. Until I was blown off the Lockport Bridge.
You were a family.
I wish... Why doesn't any of this sound familiar to me?
Because you need more time, I guess, but Dixie really needs you, and so does her son.
Miss English, Brooke, you sound like a very nice person, but the truth is, all of this feels like some sort of movie plot to me. I don't feel connected to any of it.
Trust me. You were. You were. And it will all come back to you.
Just what was your billing in this little feature?
I was a featured player.
Featured? I should think that you're Dixie's best friend for making this trip.
It was no great sacrifice.
On the contrary, for coming out here, pleading your case, that's more than a bit neighborly.
There's some people for whom I do almost anything.
Obviously. And I appreciate it. But I can't
Look,
deal with any of this
you
right
just had a whole outline of your life dumped in your lap. Don't worry. It'll work out. I promise. Tad, what is it? Tad?
Mark, what about those Billy Clyde toggle pieces? Yeah, we'll keep digging, all right? Yeah, great.
Look who
Okay, thanks.
running around the hall.
Hey, where have you been? Hey, buddy.
It's okay, Edmund. I could keep an eye on him.
Oh, no, I got him. He's just the medicine I need.
Okay.
Oh,
I'll get back
thanks.
to that stack of paperwork.
Thank you, Rachel. Hey there, handsome. You're getting so big. Where's your mommy, huh? Where's your mommy?
Oh, there you are.
There's Phoebe.
Will you please unhand that child immediately?
Mama, Phil.
Yeah. Okay. Well, listen, you're going to need a motor scooter to keep up with this guy.
Sweetheart, you're supposed to stay with Aunt Phoebe, remember? See?
What are you doing with Jamie duty today? Where's Brooke?
Look, try not to worry. It'll all work out. I promise. Tad, what is it? Tad? Did you remember something?
You and I, we're more than friends.
Yes, we were more.
How much more?
Good friends.
Close friends.
Very close. I wanted you to remember that on your own.
I just did. This closeness, did it happen once upon a time?
Like in a fairy tale?
No, like once. You know, a little too much nog at the Christmas party? Something like that, or was there more to it?
There was more.
I see.
I'm sorry. I know this is hard for you.
Why shouldn't it be? I mean, even with my memory, I can still... Well, it doesn't take a genius to put the pieces back into the puzzle.
Don't try to force them into place.
My marriage ended because I had an affair. That affair was with you, wasn't it?
I told you there were a number of reasons why your marriage ended. We were just one of them.
That's supposed to make me feel better?
You received divorce papers from Dixie.
Adultery can lead to that.
You were not supposed to receive those papers.
What do you mean?
Somebody in Dixie's family sent them to you.
The in-laws you told me about.
Dixie had decided she didn't want you to see those papers. Her family didn't understand that.
So, instead of going to my wife and asking her if there was a mistake,
there was not any reason for you to believe that there was a mistake. I took that as license to indulge in the obvious pleasure of going to bed with you. You were miserable, Tad. You were lonely.
Like now.
This is so odd. Telling you all this like you were a stranger.
That about sums it up, doesn't it? You're a very attractive woman. Were we in love?
You were totally honest with me. You couldn't tell me that you loved me. You never promised me anything.
Sounds like I was a real hell of a guy.
No, you were in love with Dixie, and I was happy with what we had.
Is that why you're unhappy now?
Do I look sad?
A tad. Sorry.
It doesn't have anything to do with you, all right? I don't have any regrets. You gave me something very special, something that nobody can ever take away from me.
What was that?
Brooke just happens to be out of town.
Oh, yeah? Business or pleasure?
It's no concern of yours.
Hey. Hey, Danger Man. What are you doing, huh? What are you doing? You got any toys around here,
I
huh?
shouldn't have told you as much as I did.
Oh, yeah? You got some toys down here, huh? Down here? Huh?
Oh,
Yeah?
this never would have happened except that copy editor called me.
Oh, yeah? What? Dear Aggie's running a little long again?
She wants me to cut 2 inches out of the column by tonight. This never would have happened, except that Petra and Mrs. Valentine are both busy.
Look what I found. Well, I'll tell you something. I can't go anywhere until I get the files. Why don't you... I'll watch them.
No, it's not possible.
Oh, come on. We're just going to be right here wrecking my office.
Brooke would never approve.
Well, Jamie would. Huh? What do you say, pal? Yeah?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, come on. Aunt Phoebe, I will give you my best groveling.
Oh, you... Oh, all right. I suppose it couldn't do any real harm. The boy certainly does like you, all right. But don't think that this means I have any intention of letting you out of the doghouse.
Heaven forbid.
Yes, I want you to remember that. This is a babysitting job, pure and simple. That's all.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'll be back soon, darling.
Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Well, it's just you and me, huh? Just a couple of dogs. Roof, 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 roof. Oh, God, I missed you. I missed you so much. Almost as much as I missed your mommy.
When I said you gave me something very special, I meant... Look, I don't think that we should be talking about this right now. It's not the reason why I came. You and Dixie are what's important.
Experience. Having somebody you don't even know dole out your most intimate secrets at their own discretion. Can't say I like it very much.
I knew that I would have trouble telling you all this.
Well, you're not having any trouble deciding what to leave out.
Excuse me?
Your first rendition of my life with Dixie didn't include the chapter on our little tryst.
Well, you remembered that. It wasn't exactly something that I could blurt out.
If I didn't remember?
I would have told you eventually.
Is it a guilty conscience? Is that why you're here? Is that why you made the trip?
All right. I know I am not doing this very well.
No, you're not.
I'm just trying to think of everything that you've been through, and I am trying to tell you as gently as possible.
Maybe you shouldn't concern yourself with being gentle. Maybe you should concern yourself with the...
You don't owe me any
Yes,
explanation.
I think I do owe you an explanation.
I'm happy for you and Dixie, because you've been given a second chance. And I know how important that is to you.
You're not going to let me talk, are you?
Ted, I know better than anybody else how hard you've tried to get over Dixie, and I would be blind not to see that you were not succeeding.
That doesn't mean that what we had wasn't real.
I know that. What we had is very special, and I don't regret it. And I wouldn't give a minute of it, not for anything.
I've never met anybody like you before.
I'm not so special. You know, you never made me any promises. I went into this knowing that it was moment to moment, and I took the moments that I could, and it was wonderful.
We didn't break up. You just let me go.
There were never any promises made. We just took what we could from moment to moment. And when it was time to split up, that's what we did.
You didn't even try?
There wasn't any reason. I knew that you and Dixie were meant for each other.
I see. Well, I'm sorry. I realize it takes a lot of courage to do what you've done, and I had no reason to snap at you.
You're entitled?
No. I know this has got to be difficult for you. I mean, I'm sure you don't have a lot of experience in things like this. So, why don't we just forge on? This time, don't concern yourself with pulling your punches. I'm sure that whatever the truth is, I can deal with it.
After we decided to split up, you went back to Dixie, you worked things out?
You were telling me that we were going to get remarried.
And that was when Billy Clyde came into the picture. The bridge, the explosion.
How long? Before the ceremony, I mean, did it happen?
It happened on the day that you were supposed to get married. Dixie was still in her wedding dress because she was certain that you would get back. That you would call all your friends, that you would tell them to come to the church again, and then she got a call. And they told her that you had died.
We're flying now. Oh, look out for enemy below. Do you see any air pirates?
Here's those files you wanted, Mr. Gray.
Oh, my God, the enemy at 6 o'clock. Come on, Jamie. Get that. Grab that. Thank you very much. You got it. Ah, thanks, Johnny. Good job, buddy. Good job. Good, yeah. You think there's treasure in here? What do you think?
Well, Petra's here to pick up Jamie.
Oh. Well, time to go, buddy. It's been good seeing you.
Okay,
There you are.
come on down.
How'd your article come along?
Oh, I finally put it to bed. Exhausting, but it's done.
Okay, good. Well, listen, thanks for, letting me.
You're welcome. Okay, sweetheart, let's go find Petra, shall we?
Bye-bye. Phoebe! Phoebe!
What on earth are you bellowing about?
Phoebe, look at this. Look at this.
Do I have to be
Just look at that, please. That's Tad Martin, right?
Why are you reading about Tad Martin?
A friend of mine, Ted Orsini, wants me to do some research about Billy Clyde Tuggle.
Oh, what a horrible subject.
And, well, it seems that he's got amnesia, you know, and he can't remember anything since December 1990. And look at this, look at this. This is dated December 11th, 1990. This is him. Him.
This is Tad Martin.
No, it's Ted Orsini. Ted Orsini is Ted Martin. Jamie's father is alive.